When the power grid fails, most people panic and make the same fatal mistake. They turn on everything they think they need without understanding the consequences. A blackout isn't just an inconvenience. It's a test of your survival instincts, your knowledge, and your ability to protect what matters most: your family, your resources, and your life. The truth is, during a prolonged blackout, certain appliances can destroy your backup power, drain your generator in hours, or even cause fires that turn your home into a death trap. You might think you're prepared with a generator, solar panels, or a battery backup system, but if you don't know which appliances to avoid, you're setting yourself up for disaster. Right now, before you face the next grid failure, you need to understand the 5 appliances that could cost you everything during a blackout. If you're serious about surviving when the lights go out, subscribe now, because this information could save your life when everything else fails. Let's start with the most dangerous appliance in your home during a blackout: the electric water heater. Most homes have water heaters that hold between 40 and 80 gallons of water, and they consume between 3,000 and 5,000 watts of power continuously to keep that water hot. When the grid goes down and you're running on a generator or battery backup, turning on your electric water heater is like throwing your fuel supply into a fire. A standard portable generator produces around 3,000 to 7,000 watts, which means your water heater alone could consume nearly all of your available power, leaving nothing for essential devices like refrigeration, communication, or medical equipment. Even worse, electric water heaters cycle on and off throughout the day to maintain temperature, so you won't just drain your backup power once, you'll drain it repeatedly without even realizing it. The startup surge when the heating element kicks on can spike to double the running wattage, which can overload smaller generators and cause them to shut down or suffer permanent damage. During Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico, thousands of families with backup generators burned through their fuel in less than a day because they didn't disconnect their water heaters. And when the fuel ran out, they had no power left for refrigeration or communication. If you want hot water during a blackout, heat only what you need on a propane stove or camping burner. Or better yet, learn to live with cold water for bathing and use your backup power for truly critical needs. Water heaters are silent killers of your energy reserves. And if you don't shut them off immediately when the power fails, you're wasting resources you might not be able to replace for days or even weeks. The second appliance that will destroy your chances of surviving a long-term blackout is the electric stove or oven. These appliances are power-hungry monsters that can consume anywhere from 2,000 watts for a single burner up to 5,000 watts when you're using the oven. Cooking a single meal on an electric stove can drain a generator faster than running your refrigerator for an entire day. Most people don't realize that electric stoves draw continuous high wattage the entire time they're on, unlike other appliances that cycle on and off. If you're relying on a small generator or a solar battery system, using your electric stove even once could deplete half of your stored energy in a single cooking session. During the Texas blackout in February 2021, families who tried to use electric stoves on backup power found themselves in the cold and dark within hours because their generators couldn't sustain the load. The smarter approach is to have alternative cooking methods ready before the blackout happens. A propane camping stove, a butane burner, a charcoal grill, or even a wood-burning rocket stove. These options use fuel sources that are independent of your electrical backup system and allow you to conserve your generator power for things that truly matter, like keeping medications cold, charging communication devices, or running medical equipment. Cooking over an open flame or with propane also gives you the flexibility to cook outdoors, which reduces the risk of carbon monoxide poisoning if you're operating in an enclosed space. If you ignore this advice and try to cook on your electric stove during a blackout, you'll learn the hard way that comfort foods aren't worth dying in the dark for. The third appliance you must avoid at all costs is the air conditioner or electric heater, depending on the season. These are the biggest energy vampires in any home, and they will kill your backup power faster than anything else. A central air conditioning unit can draw between 3,000 and 5,000 watts continuously, and window units still pull between 1,000 and 2,000 watts. Electric space heaters are just as bad, with most models consuming 1,500 watts or more. If you turn on your air conditioner or heater during a blackout, you're essentially choosing comfort over survival, and that choice could leave you without power for refrigeration, communication, or lighting when you need it most. During the California wildfires and rolling blackouts, emergency services reported multiple cases of families who ran their air conditioners on generators until the fuel ran out. leaving them stranded without power to charge phones or keep medical devices running. The reality is that extreme temperatures are uncomfortable, but they're survivable with the right strategies. In hot weather, you can cool your body with wet towels, stay in shaded areas, drink plenty of water, and minimize physical activity during the hottest parts of the day. In cold weather, layering clothing, using blankets, sealing off unused rooms, and gathering family members in a single insulated space can keep you warm without burning through your power reserves. If you absolutely must use climate control, a small battery-powered fan or a propane heater designed for indoor use is far more efficient than running electric systems. The key is to shift your mindset from comfort to survival. Your air conditioner or heater won't save your life during a blackout, but conserving your backup power will. The fourth appliance that will sabotage your survival during a blackout is the washing machine and dryer combo. These appliances are designed for convenience in a world where the grid never fails, but during a blackout, they're nothing but resource drains. A washing machine uses between 500 and 2,000 watts depending on the cycle, and an electric dryer consumes between 3,000 and 5,000 watts of continuous power for up to an hour. That's enough energy to keep your refrigerator running for days or to charge essential communication devices dozens of times. Yet many people, out of habit or a misguided sense of normalcy, will try to do laundry during a blackout as if nothing has changed. This is a catastrophic mistake. Dirty clothes are not a survival priority. Your hygiene can be maintained with hand-washing small items in a bucket or sink using minimal water and no electricity. If you're running a generator or battery backup system, every watt counts, and wasting thousands of watts on laundry is reckless. During extended blackouts following natural disasters, relief agencies and emergency responders consistently report that families who tried to maintain normal routines, including doing laundry, were the first to run out of fuel and power. The survivors were the ones who adapted immediately, abandoned non-essential tasks, and focused their resources on food preservation, communication, and medical needs. If you want clean clothes during a blackout, wash them by hand and hang them to dry. It takes more effort, but it costs zero electricity and keeps your backup power available for life-saving purposes. The washing machine and dryer are luxuries you cannot afford when the grid is down. The fifth and final appliance you must avoid during a blackout is the electric pump. Whether it's a well pump, a sump pump, or a pool pump, these devices consume anywhere from 700 to 2,000 watts or more, and they often run for extended periods. If you have a well pump and you're on a generator, running it continuously to maintain water pressure will drain your fuel supply in a matter of hours. Sump pumps are necessary to prevent flooding in basements, but during a blackout, you need to monitor them carefully and only run them when absolutely necessary, rather than allowing them to cycle automatically. Pool pumps are completely non-essential during a survival situation, yet some people will run them out of habit or concern for water quality. This is a waste of critical resources. The solution is to plan ahead. If you rely on a well, store emergency water in food-grade containers before the blackout happens, so you're not dependent on running the pump constantly. A few large water storage tanks or even filled bathtubs can provide enough water for drinking, cooking, and basic hygiene for days without touching your generator. For sump pumps, consider a battery backup system specifically designed for that purpose, or manually bail water if flooding becomes an issue. Pool pumps should be shut off entirely during a blackout. Your pool water can survive without filtration for days or even weeks without becoming a health hazard. The mistake most people make is treating every appliance as essential when in reality, only a few truly are. During a blackout, your priorities should be food preservation, communication, medical equipment, and basic lighting. Everything else is negotiable. If you waste your backup power on pumps that could be managed with planning and manual effort, you're choosing convenience over survival, and that choice has consequences. Now that you understand which appliances to avoid, you need to think about what you should be powering instead. The appliances and devices that deserve your backup power are the ones that directly support your survival. Your refrigerator and freezer to preserve food. Your communication devices like phones and radios to stay informed and call for help. Any medical equipment like CPAP machines or oxygen concentrators. And basic lighting for safety and security. A standard refrigerator uses between 100 and 200 watts when running, and it cycles on and off throughout the day, making it far more efficient than the appliances we've discussed. A freezer can stay cold for up to 48 hours if you keep the door closed, and after that, it only needs a few hours of power per day to maintain safe temperatures. Communication devices like phones, tablets, and emergency radios use minimal power, often less than 20 watts to charge. Medical equipment varies, but most CPAP machines use between 30 and 60 watts, making them manageable on even small backup systems. LED lights consume almost nothing, with most bulbs using less than 10 watts. If you focus your backup power on these essentials and avoid the 5 appliances we've covered, you can stretch a single tank of generator fuel for days instead of hours, or make a solar battery system last through an extended blackout. The difference between survival and disaster often comes down to knowledge and discipline. Knowing what not to power is just as important as knowing what to power. The psychological challenge during a blackout is the temptation to maintain normalcy. You'll want to cook a hot meal on your electric stove, take a hot shower, run the air conditioner, do laundry, and keep everything functioning as if the grid never failed. This is human nature, but it's also a trap. The families who survive extended blackouts are the ones who immediately shift into survival mode, abandon non-essential comforts, and ruthlessly prioritize their resources. They're the ones who eat cold food or cook on propane, who take cold showers or use wet towels to clean themselves, who wear layers instead of running heaters, who wash clothes by hand, and who shut off every non-essential appliance the moment the power fails. This isn't about being miserable, it's about being smart. Every watt of power you save is a watt you can use later for something that truly matters. Every gallon of generator fuel you conserve is a gallon that could power your refrigerator for another day. Every hour your battery backup lasts is another hour you can stay connected to emergency services or keep medical equipment running. The survivors are the ones who understand that a blackout isn't a temporary inconvenience to be endured with. Minimal lifestyle changes. It's a survival situation that demands immediate adaptation and discipline. One of the most critical steps you can take right now, before the next blackout, is to calculate your actual power needs and test your backup systems. Walk through your home and identify every appliance, device, and system that draws power. Check the wattage labels or look up the specifications online. Add up the wattage of the truly essential items: refrigerator, freezer, phone chargers, medical equipment, and a few LED lights. That total is your baseline survival load, and it's probably far lower than you think. Then look at the 5 appliances we've discussed: water heater, electric stove, air conditioner or heater, washer and dryer, and pumps, and add up their wattage. You'll quickly see that these 5 appliances can consume more power in a single day than all your essential devices combined use in a week. This exercise isn't theoretical. It's the difference between having backup power when you need it and going dark at the worst possible moment. If you have a generator, practice running it with only your essential devices connected. See how long a full tank of fuel lasts. If you have a solar battery system, test how many days it can support your essential load without recharging. If you don't have backup power yet, this exercise will show you exactly what size system you need. The knowledge you gain from this testing could save your life when the real blackout happens. Another layer of preparation is having manual or fuel-independent alternatives for the appliances you're avoiding. For hot water, invest in a solar shower bag or learn to heat water on a propane stove. For cooking, have a propane camping stove, a charcoal grill, or a wood-burning stove ready to go with plenty of fuel stored safely. For climate control, stock up on warm clothing, blankets, and sleeping bags for winter, and have battery-powered fans, reflective window coverings, and plenty of water for summer. For laundry, keep a washboard and a large bucket or basin for hand washing. For water pumps, store enough water to last at least 2 weeks without needing to run the well pump constantly. These alternatives don't rely on your backup power, which means they give you resilience and flexibility. The more you can accomplish without electricity, the longer your backup power will last, and the better your chances of surviving an extended grid failure. This is the mindset of a true prepper: redundancy, adaptability, and the ability to thrive when systems fail. Let's talk about one more critical issue: the danger of overloading your generator or battery backup system. When you connect appliances that draw too much power, you risk damaging your equipment or causing a dangerous situation. Generators have maximum wattage capacities, and exceeding that capacity can cause the generator to overheat, shut down, or even catch fire. Battery backup systems have similar limits, and overloading them can damage the batteries, reducing their capacity and lifespan. The 5 appliances we've discussed are the most common culprits in overload situations. If you turn on your water heater, electric stove, and air conditioner at the same time on a small generator, you'll exceed its capacity within seconds. The solution is simple but requires discipline. Never connect high wattage appliances to your backup power, and always monitor your total load to ensure you're staying within safe limits. Many modern generators and battery systems have built-in overload protection, but relying on that protection is a gamble. It's far better to prevent the overload in the first place by avoiding the appliances that cause it. If you're still not convinced that avoiding these 5 appliances is critical, consider the real-world consequences of ignoring this advice. During Hurricane Katrina, countless families with generators ran out of fuel within the first 48 hours because they tried to power their entire homes, including water heaters, air conditioners, and electric stoves. They were left without power for refrigeration, and their food spoiled, leading to hunger and illness. During the Northeast blackout of 2003, people who relied on battery backup systems drained them by trying to run washers, dryers, and other non-essential appliances, leaving them without power for communication or medical devices when they needed them most. During the recent winter storms in the South, families who used electric heaters on backup power burned through their fuel so quickly that they were left freezing in the dark, unable to call for help because their phones were dead. These aren't hypothetical scenarios or scare tactics. They're documented cases of what happens when people make poor decisions during blackouts. The survivors were the ones who prioritized ruthlessly, conserved their resources, and adapted to the situation. You can learn from their experience, or you can make the same mistakes they did. The final piece of this puzzle is understanding that blackouts are becoming more frequent and more severe. The power grid is aging, climate change is increasing the frequency of extreme weather events, and cyber attacks on infrastructure are a growing threat. According to recent reports, the United States experienced more major blackouts in the last 5 years than in the previous 2 decades combined. This trend isn't going to reverse, it's going to accelerate. The next blackout could last days, weeks, or even longer. And when it happens, the knowledge you've gained here could be the difference between thriving and suffering. The 5 appliances we've covered, electric water heater, electric stove or oven, air conditioner or heater, washing machine and dryer, and electric pumps, are the silent killers of your backup power. Avoiding them isn't about sacrifice or discomfort. It's about survival, discipline, and the wisdom to prioritize what truly matters when the grid fails. If you're serious about protecting your family when the lights go out, take action now. Disconnect those appliances from your backup power. Test your systems, stock up on alternatives, and most importantly, commit to the mindset that survival requires adaptation, not comfort. Don't just listen, act. Like, comment, and share this with someone who needs to hear it before it's too late. And if you want to go deeper, you'll find in the pinned comment some guides and documents that can take your preparedness to the next level. Check them out when you're ready.